Hi guys, it's Penny from Four Eyes Designs, and we're going to do our second video regarding geometric backgrounds. In my last video I made this card for you. This card features 6 different colors of cardstock in this background piece. I'll leave a link down below for the video of me making this card if you'd like to see it. So today I am going to work on the other geometric background that I had made using scraps of paper, and it's this one here. And I used craft cardstock, and then I used 4 different kinds of patterned papers. And what I had done for this is I have this Christmas tree die. I just had it here. A small Christmas tree die, here it is, that I cut multiple times using the different pieces, and then I just layered it on a piece of cardstock, and I used Mod Podge over top to make sure everything was nice and sealed down, because I had to cut off the edges and I didn't want anything to lift up. So I've done that. I also got my cardstock panel ready for the card base, and that is a teal color, A2 size, the same as in my last video. And the first thing I want to do is, I found this sticker and I want to create a banner to go across, and I don't want it to be quite the width of this sticker. So I'm going to take it here just to eyeball it, and I'm going to go use my trimmer and cut this piece across at that width. Okay, here's the piece of paper. Let me see if it's, I might want to cut it down just a tad bit more. No, that's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take a tiny sliver of black and just layer it over top of that. So I have to cut my black here. Okay, and then I'm going to layer that over top of the red. Something like that. I'm going to use my Mono Multi Medium in the matte finish. Oops, okay. This is a really great glue for sticking things down strongly, and you don't need much at all, which is nice. I use it a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick this in. I'm going to eyeball the center of that. And we'll let this dry. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to the same width as the card. Okay, and that's 4 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to add the sticker. Let me see. Okay. Oops, I guess I cut it a little bit too much there. Okay, I'm going to use my Mono Multi Matte again. And that's way more glue than I need. And I'm going to adhere this down. Okay, so I stamped the Treat Yourself image. And now we're going to move on to stamping the puppies that are going to be on this. And I'm using this stamp set. This is a Simon Says stamp set. I think it's called, yeah, Playful Pooches. And we're going to go ahead and stamp some of those images and then die cut them out. We'll use the Copic coloring. And we will use, let me see, we'll use this one and the bone. Let's use this one too. Okay, so I have my images. They're going to do 2 dogs and the bone image, and then I'm going to use my Copic colors to color them in. So I'm going to use my Tuxedo Black ink, Memento. I'm going to bring in my Copic colors, and I think I'm going to switch this over to the other side so you can see me color a little better. Alright, so we're going to color the bone first, and I'm looking in my color chart here. I think we'll just use the toner grays T0 and T3 to color the bone. And I'm going to start with the T3, and I'm just going to put in where the highlights or the shadows would be, where I think the shadows would be. And then the T0. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I might go back with the colorless blender and take some color out of that, but right after you put Copics down, they are darker, and as the alcohol evaporates, it becomes lighter. So let's move on to the other dogs for now, and I'll come back to the bone. So I think I'm going to use the E27, E33, and E31. For both of these. Let me see. I think we should start with the darkest color, E27, and put in where the shadow would be. Okay. Sorry if that was off camera. I just did the E27 in the shadow areas. Now I'm going to do the E33. And now I'm going into the E31. And I'm going to do his muzzle the lighter color as well. I do a little bit more E33 here. And then 31 again. And I'm going to take my colorless blender. There's a little bit of brown that got into the eye here, so I'm going to try to push that back. And as far as the eyes go, I think those should be the lighter color too. Let me see if I have a better color for that. I wonder what the E... Let's start with the E000 and just see what that looks like. Oops. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of that here as well to lighten it up. And let's see what that looks like as the color fades out a little bit. So let's go ahead and move on to this other pug. And I think it's a pug, right? So for this one, let's see if I can go a little bit lighter. Well, we're going to start with the darkest shade. I'm going to try starting with the E33 as the darkest and make this one a lighter puppy altogether. So E33. Okay, then I'm going to move on to the E31. And then I'm going to take the E000 for these top areas here. And then I'm going to use that in the snout area as well. Okay, and I need to do a little bit more shading here. I'm going to take the E31 again. Blend this out. And I'm going to take the E000 one more time and just try to blend it in a little bit. And I see one other spot here that I'm going to take the E33 again and just run this under his ear where it would be darker. And then the 31 to blend it out. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm going outside of the lines here. I see that I'm not being overly careful. I'll show you a trick to fix that. Or at least what I use to fix that in a little bit. Okay. Look at these. I think I'm going to color this one's eyes the darker. I'm not thrilled with the result there. Although I don't know that I like that any better either. I'm going to wait and see how that looks in a little bit. I'm going to take the colorless blender and just make some highlights in the bone here. I said that I would show you how to get rid of any marks that go outside of the line, and I just use my white gel pen for that. I think that one's good enough. Okay, and I also still need to do the black for the eyes on this one. So the next thing I'm going to do, I have this new die cut. So here's our background panel, and I looked to see how I'm going to lay them out, and it'll be roughly something like this. But I thought that it was too much, there wasn't enough contrast to make the dog stick out there. So I have this new die that I just got, Cottage Cutz. It's a doily die. I got the doily cut out, and I do like that a lot better. This is the way I'm going to put it. The doily was a lot of work. I had to basically punch out each individual section in order to get the holes, and even some of those didn't come out properly, but once it's on the card I don't think it'll be noticeable. So now I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down, and I'm going to use my multi-medium in the matte finish. And I'm going to tuck it under the tag here. Keep it down for a second. And then I'm going to adhere the dogs the same way. Try to tuck him behind here. And then the bone. Alright, and then I have my cardstock base here. This is an A2 cardstock base, and the color is, I don't remember what the color is. Also, I did want to mention that the glitter cardstock that I used, this is by Reminisce, and it's from their Glitter Factory line, and this individual paper is called Sunlit Pool. And the glitter's on there. It's not going to come off. I suppose if you scratched it, it might start coming off, but it's permanent, and that's one of the things I liked about it. I will look up the name of this cardstock and it'll be in the description box below. But otherwise, I think that's my finished card. I think it's got enough going on for it, color-wise, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that. Okay, I added glossy accents to my card, to the bone there, and here's my finished card.